to the house, the one they talking about, word of mouth. The Boxing Playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
Welcome, guys. It's Sakura A and Emilio Santana, and this is Boxing Playhouse's After Dark series. And you know, tonight we having some amazing guests. And you know, this particular guest, I mean, he got me on schedule. He got me starting at exactly 8. Like, he means business. This is the president of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. We call him Padrino. But he's also known as Steve Canton, trainer extraordinaire, president extraordinaire, bust everybody and get them on time extraordinaire. So we're going to make sure that we have a great time with him before he has to leave us. But also, we have our special co-host through our special Florida Boxing Hall of Fame editions, Mr. Bob Alexander, who happens to be our announcer extraordinaire. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get both of these guys on here with us tonight. Let's go ahead and welcome Steve Canton and Bob Alexander to the show.
Hello.
Good evening. How you doing, team?
Always great to be with you guys.
Hey, appreciate it, Steve. Bob, appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Hey, where's my goblet? Where is it? You got it? There we go. Okay, now we can start the show.
Ooh, wow. I don't know what we're going to do with your Hall of Famer, Danny Santiago, because he has a goblet now.
Bob, you're next.
So Bob,
I gotta get the next one. Yep.
Yes, it's going to be.
I'll get the first one up to the champ, but I get the next one.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Canton, he gonna have to keep all of us in line with these goblets. They are too much. So
I'm not expecting what Steve had.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Where are you located at, Mr. Canton, tonight?
We are in Fort Myers, Florida, at the SJC Boxing Gym. We just finished a night of training at 8 p.m. And I'm sitting in the one of the rooms of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame Museum that we've all been working hard to make good for everybody. So it's good. I'm in the air-conditioned room enjoying the show with you guys while they're out there in the heat finishing up their training.
Well, you look amazing in there, and I'm loving the backdrop of the red color, honey, against that gold. You know those are part of our colors, so of course I have an affinity.
Most definitely. Red and gold and black, it all goes together.
Yes, for sure, definitely. Now, you've already said that that's 2022's class on the wall. I mean, tell us a little bit about the preparation leading up to the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. That's June 17th through the 19th.
Right. There's always so much to do each year. When we finish one induction weekend, we're already starting to look at the next one. Bob and I get together with Mary and we start talking about what's coming next. Well, we had the announcement for the class of 2022 in the gym here on January the 8th previously. And we had a huge turnout, not only of fans and spectators, but a great turnout of new inductees. And at that time, we started making our plans again and formalizing plans for June. So we got a little bit ahead of the curve. We were able to order the plaques, which we have hanging up. We were able to do a few fist casts for some of the people a couple of months later, which we put up. We got all the bases ordered. So we put everything up on the wall that we could so that when June comes, we'll be giving the inductees their plaques, which will be a little bit larger than ones we display here in the Hall of Fame on the wall. We've got plaques ready for them already. They'll get certificates. They'll get their own plaque. They'll get the ring. And they'll get a T-shirt for the Hall of Fame. So that's a great thing for them. So we're working hard to get it all good for the induction weekend.
Yeah, that's some gift packet you guys give out. I mean, a whole nice gold or silver ring. I love it. Now, Steve, one thing I had to ask, because we were talking to Al Cole a few weeks ago. Remember, Bob?
Oh yeah.
And he was bringing up the fact that he used to have training sessions and sparring with some of your guys back then. And I'm just wondering, like, do you have an actual count on how many fighters you've actually trained over the years?
Actually, no, it's been in the thousands. It's hard to say.
Oh.
We've been here in Fort Myers now for the gym 33 years. Previously, I was in Austin, Texas for 3 years, where I trained a few national champions in that area while I was there. And prior to that, I was in Cincinnati, Ohio for 11 years, training a lot of great fighters. Started with Aaron Pryor, was a 15-year-old kid, for example, in Cincinnati.
Wow.
Tommy Ayers, another top fighter who was an alternate 80 Olympic team, was a 12-year-old kid in the gym. We had great fighters there. And then I was in the beginning with Emmanuel Stewart. As Bob knows, our close friend Emmanuel was in Detroit, 5-hour drive from Cincinnati. And I was there from the beginnings days of Tommy Hearns and Hilmer Kenty. So
Wow.
it's been just a journey through life, including being in Europe several times with training and working with fighters over there. So it's been my whole life. So it's hard to put a number on the quantity. No, I don't know.
Steve, when you said that Kronk gym, I was sad that they weren't able to restore or keep that building. You know, the Kronk gym.
That is very sad because there's so many memories by people who were there and so much history in that building for that city. And the sad thing is when Emmanuel was gone, things kind of went downhill after he left. And I'm working very hard right now because we don't want that to happen here. We've got a tradition here for 33 years, as I said. We've trained at least 10 world champions in this gym myself, and several other top contenders, and worked with other champions that weren't mine, but co-work with other trainers. So what we don't want to do is have this gone like the Kronk is gone. So at the moment, we're actually putting the documentary together. We've got a mentoring program with the school board that we put together last year, which is fabulous. We started at that time with one pilot school and 3 kids, and we had our anniversary. We ended up right now, we've got 32 schools in the county in our program with 81 or 82 kids. We've already had 2 high school graduates and 2 others that are very close to graduating within another month or 2 from the program. So we have now a physical museum finally, which we never had before.
Right.
So we don't want any of this to be gone when I'm gone. So we're trying to put together a legacy trust. We're working on a legacy trust fund at the moment. So when I'm gone, everything will be ongoing. And then Bob will be in charge of this hall when I'm gone. And
that better not be anytime soon, pal. That's all I got to tell you.
Well,
That's right. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it.
Right. I don't want to hear any of that right now.
Funny things. St. Peter's already called a couple of times, and I said I'm not quite ready, but I will give you some referrals if you like. And good trade. We'll do that. So I'm getting ahead of the curve.
There's those Steve Canton one-liners that he's famous for.
My wife, I may have actually passed away a couple of weeks ago, but I've been too busy to lay down, so I'll keep on being busy. And that way it won't catch up to me.
I think one thing that people need to know about you is that no matter how much organized you are and how you keep people on the right path, you are full of jokes. There's always enough time for you to get a joke in.
You have to be. It actually started out when I was born. I don't know if you knew the story of Bob too. And someone asked me once how I started in boxing. Actually, John Bafar doing the documentary. He said, "How did you get your start in boxing?" I said, well, actually what happened was when I was born, I was so ugly. My doctor actually slapped my mother for having me. I hit him with a left hook and it's gone downhill ever since.
Oh. Hit him with a left hook. Why not a right hook, Steve?
You don't want to throw too many right hooks from the outside. That's what today's fighters throw, too many right hooks, which is a close punch. And they throw it from the outside, and they're open to get countered. See, the left hook, you're closer to the body. You throw your left hooks more. If you, instead of throwing a right hook, you throw a straight right, which is quicker to get there with much more power. So I don't understand why these people are throwing these right hooks from the outside and lunging in off balance. To me, it's just not good boxing. But
Can you even watch a full boxing card nowadays
It's
with
hard for me to
being able
watch.
to critique like you do?
It's hard for me to watch it. And it's sad because I love the sport, but it's hard to watch. And I don't blame the kids. All the old trainers have pretty much died. And these guys today, they look at YouTube and they look at all these incorrect things and teaching kids to do these improper techniques. And you wonder why the sport's gone downhill. And it's just sad. So I'm trying to keep what I know alive and make sure that as everyone I come in contact with at least keeps it going in some way.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned a lot of great fighters that you work with. I was wondering, was there any one particular guy that you really enjoyed working with?
I can't say one guy because all these people we're all been like family through the years. I loved Aaron Pryor from day one. There was a couple of brothers, Larry McCall, Jeff McCall, back in the old days in the same gym. Freeman Barr was unbelievable to work with, not only as a great fighter, but as a great person. People didn't realize what cut him short is a lung disease that he had the last 5 years of his career. He's fighting with sarcoidosis and fighting 12-round title fight with this disease. It's just through the years, there's been so many greats that I've worked with and worked and had training in the gym here. I can't pick one. My favorite all-time fighter would be Sugar Ray Robinson.
Right.
But I can't pick one person who I love, who I've worked with, because I've worked with so many in there. I love them all as family.
Steve, what can you tell me about Panama Lewis?
What do you want me to tell you about Panama Lewis? Good motivator, good trainer, did some shady things on the side.
Oh, okay.
There's pluses and minuses about Panama Lewis, but probably a little bit more negative in the long run, with a couple of lives that were destroyed, kind of. That Louis Resto fiasco with Billy Collins Jr. ends up dying a year later. He was so depressed and became an alcoholic and had that car accident. I don't like to say ill things about other people, but he did bring a lot good to the sport too previously. So wherever there's bad, there's good, and wherever there's good, there's bad usually.
Right. Was you there the night him and Arguello fought in Miami, Aaron?
Actually, no. In that particular fight, I was living in Cincinnati. I did spar every day with Aaron for 5 weeks prior to that fight, because what happened was when that fight was made, and people might recall and Arguello was the favorite going into the fight, and one of the people may recall that at that time, Aaron Pryor was a great fighter who would go in and back out, in and back out.
Yeah.
And I told him then, and we spent 5 weeks working on this together, sparring with him every day, that you cannot fight Arguello that way because he has that right hand that'll follow you out with.
Right.
So we worked on angles. You come in, leave it in one angle, leave the other angle. I stayed on the ropes a lot and have Aaron work on how to keep me on the ropes. Now, at that time, I was working at a car dealership. Besides being in the boxing business, I was selling Mercedes-Benz, and I couldn't get away from work to come for the trip. So we spent the 5 weeks sparring together and training in the gym in Cincinnati. And then he went on to Miami for another month, and he finished up his training in Miami and went into the fight. And during the telecast, I see some of the announcers were saying things like, we've got a new Aaron Pryor. He's coming in from angles and stuff he hadn't done. That was the key to him winning the fight. So I was one of those spectators from a distance, not close up on that.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Well, we have had some people commenting already. We started out with trainer Sherman Henson saying, what's up, Steve? And what's up, Bob?
Hey, Sherman's a great guy. I hope Sherman comes to the Hall of Fame weekend. I miss him.
Absolutely. We working on that as we
speak.
speak.
Good person, good
Great trainer.
Good all-around guy. I miss Sherman. You better be there in June. We want to see you there.
Sherman, you heard that.
Ticket.
We got Gustavo. He's calling. Well, he's tuning in from Argentina.
Ooh, wow.
Amazing right now. And then we got Will Hunter. The Hunter is what we nicknamed him. And he's texting from Biloxi. He says, Boston Playhouse and my man Bob, what it do? He says, I'm still in recovery. let's see, from 1 to 2 days ago. Everything is good, and I am ready to get back rolling with events. My boy Jesus Escalera and T&K, Jody from Fire Fist, and Matthew Bosman Young from TriStar. And he just keeps going on.
Start something soon.
So shout out, because he's starting something soon with all these different players.
Will's a great guy.
So good luck to Will on recovery and getting all his stuff completed.
Absolutely. I mean, he did mention T&K Boxing, which is going to be helping to promote that Friday night fight nights with the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame kickoff night, June 17th. What do you think about adding these fights to the professional fights, I should say, because you guys had amateur fights before. So how do you feel like it's coming along, having the professional fights added to the weekend?
We love that. Bob and I talked way in the beginning together that if we make the transition from the amateur to pro boxing, and T&K was the right connection to make. They're great people, Jesus and Joey. As a matter of fact, Joey's going to be getting inducted. He's one of our inductees for the class of 2022. Just spoke to Joey this morning on the phone. He's excited about June, and we're excited about the pro show on Friday night. As always, this will be the third one, right, Bob? Third pro show with.
Yeah, this will be the third year.
Yeah, yep. It'll get each one's getting a little bit better, and as the bugs get worked out, it gets better. So we're excited about that. We're happy.
I was just gonna say, Steve, you done had a lot of great shows over the years, but I'm like super hyped about this one, man. It's just the people that's being inducted, David Tua, Corey Spinks, all these guys, man. I'm just excited for this one here.
This is a great class. I mean, I love this class myself. Bob and I are amazed because we talk when a year ends how this was the best ever. And it seems like the next year is even better. There's so much talent in the state of Florida throughout the years. And as people get inducted, it just grows. And we'll be over 300 inductees from 2009 to now. Coming up, we're coming up on 300 inductees, about 20 a year. And this particular class is great. I've been talking to these guys the last week or so very closely. I've talked to David Tua a couple of times. He's excited about coming here. David Tua from New Zealand.
Yes.
And we got Frez Oquendo coming. And Frez was on yesterday with Donnell Nicholson. Doc Nicholson called today, and he says, I've never been, but I think I'm going to come in June.
All right.
And Al Cole, he's, you mentioned him before. Al's first amateur fight as he said at the open house, which was a riot, he goes, as a novice, was on the Army team in 1984 on a show I promoted in Austin, Texas. And now he is going into the Hall of Fame 38 years later. Corey Spinks, you mentioned. David Armstrong, my fighters that Bob had the pleasure of his whole career announcing from the start to the end. And then Randall Bailey, K.O. Bailey, another great one.
Yes. Oh, my God. We just had a really
Shannon Briggs. Shannon the Cannon Briggs. And then we've got Keith Mullins, great fighter who passed away, unfortunately, and his family will be here to honor him and represent Keith. So this is just an outstanding.
We got the lady too. What's the lady?
Yes, Claudia, Miss Claudia. She's going to be inducted.
Claudia Trejo. Claudia just, she just told me yesterday that she's got a bunch of people coming with her and for her.
Oh, great.
So we're looking forward to Claudia coming there, of course. Yeah.
Well, of course, I admire her. She's one of my trailblazing, just people to inspire, that inspires me to continue what I'm doing. And I mean, it's still rough for a chick in the sport now. Don't get me wrong, but it was real rough back there when she started, in the day. So I'm just like, it's like, wow, she's just had such an amazing career.
She's a great lady. I've been able to work with her on a number of bare knuckle boxing shows in the last couple of years. And she is a pro through and through, and she knows her sport. She's very knowledgeable and, a well-deserving inductee. And what's funny this year, and Steve, I don't know if you've thought about this, but this is the first year where we have 2 inductees who are going to be working during their induction weekend. Joey is going to be matchmaking the fight on Friday night. And Phil Alessi Jr. is now a board member for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, and he's getting inducted, but he's got to work.
That's good. He's also providing the cake too, Bob.
Work, huh?
And Phil is also providing the cake.
As always, the amazing,
we want cake.
cake.
That's how we want cake.
Sakura, I want to back up one thing to what you said too about Claudia being a trailblazer, which she is and is great, and very happy about that. Bob knows a trailblazer from back in the late 70s, good friend of ours, Jackie Kaplan, Jackie Kaplan Callan from Detroit, who started with Emanuel Stewart. And we met Jackie back in 78, 79 when she was doing a little story on Tommy Hearns for her school paper. And she loved the sport. And Emanuel got her in there as the publicist for the Crunk. So all through the years, she started out as a publicist. She would not have made it, and she said she wouldn't, without Emanuel's help. And she ended up being manager of James Toney, of Bronco McCart, and the movie Against the Ropes with Meg Ryan. Great person. So that's a trailblazer too that we want to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some amazing women that really had to do that struggle. And I think we met Linda. We haven't met her, but she was on one of our shows, Linda Platt as well.
Yeah, really great one.
Yeah, she's one that the mom Floyd's uncle.
Roger.
Yeah, Uncle Roger. She said he was instrumental in, helping her get started. So it's gonna take a lot of men to help push this women's movement along when it comes to being in the sport of boxing. And I'll start with the two of you guys as well, because thank you guys for always including us in everything. Yeah, so it's much appreciative because we know there's far and too few in between. Go, Bob!
I'm sorry. Boxing is my favorite sport, but football is my second. They're doing the NFL draft right now. I'm from Detroit, and the Detroit Lions just got the player that I wanted, Aiden Hutchin from Michigan. So I'm ready to party.
Like, oh,
there you go, Bob.
Wait a minute. Who is Tampa getting?
They don't pick until number 27. It's going to be about 3 more hours before they pick. So we'll have to wait and see.
So
I'm sorry. I saw it on the big screen and I just went nuts.
Yeah, who are the ones that pick first? The ones that need it the most, right, Bob?
Exactly. My poor Lions always need help.
That's super.
Great story to tell you real quick.
Get some shade right there on that. You saw that?
I was born and raised in Detroit, and because of Steve, I got to meet Emanuel Stewart, and I told Emanuel, hey, I'm going to be coming up on vacation to visit my family up there. Can I come see the Kronk? He said, all you got to do is call me, and I'll come down and meet you there. Mm-hmm. Well, I did. I called him. He said, can you come at 1 o'clock today? Tommy Hearns is going to be here. Only my favorite fighter of all time, being from Detroit. Wow. So I got to go down. I got to go down to the Kronk, take pictures, get autographs. It was a private Kronk session for me. Being from Detroit and being a Kronk fan, it was one of the sweetest memories I have. And I owe it all to Steve because he introduced me to Emanuel Stewart.
Wow.
That is pretty cool. That's a nice story for real. Like, I don't know how I would have behaved if I'd have just got that kind of pop-up call, because I would have probably been like, but my hair, I got to get my hair together, but put my makeup on.
Oh, I was hyperventilating. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you get to meet your idol, that's a big deal.
Emanuel was so special. I really miss him. We were close for over 40 years. His birthday was July 7. I'm July 11. He's 2 years older. Over 30 years, he did not call me for my birthday, even if he's in Europe. And over those same time period, I didn't call him for his birthday. He even called me to say goodbye when he was dying of cancer. And he didn't want anybody to know, and it never came out in the media because he didn't want the tribulation. He didn't want the big commotion around it. He said, when I go, I'm going to go quietly. Well, he did a few months later, which really hurt. I put a picture of the two of us. Bob sees it when he comes to the gym. It's over my desk in the gym. And every night that I come in the gym, that's the first thing I look at is that picture, miss him. So Emanuel was special. I'm going to do a real quick thing about him. Another thing. I've been on the road with him several times, with shows. And there's times when we get together, we hadn't had any sleep. Bob is familiar with that. You were around the clock training, traveling, going to a show. It might be 1 o'clock in the morning. We're exhausted. We're leaving the arena, going to the hotel, walking down there. And you look outside and there's a bunch of fans waiting for autographs. And you see some of the people leaving the show will go out the other way and go back to the door. Emmanuel said, let's go meet him. And he'll go right to those people who sign each and every autograph, exhausted as he is, before we got to the room, because that's the way he was.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's someone special that we miss.
No, that is such a sweet story. I'm so glad that you shared that with us. Because I was wondering, it just seemed like everything happened so quickly with him, like as far as him being like actually on a broadcast for HBO. And then maybe like 2 weeks later, it seemed like they were announcing he passed away. I mean, it was kind of shocking. Although, we could look and see that he was sick, with something, but we had no idea. So that story, tells us a lot about him, and
he wanted
how he
to know
mm-hmm.
that he was dying of cancer. He had stage 4 colon cancer when he called and said he called me to say goodbye, basically, and promised me not to say a word because he didn't want it out. That's pretty difficult, but
yeah, that's a close friend for sure, especially if he didn't miss a birthday. It's hard for me to remember my own birthday every year.
Steve, I got a picture of Emmanuel, me, and Tommy in the Kronk ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's up on my man cave. I see it every day.
That's beautiful.
I think of Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I got to meet Emmanuel one time, and that was when Antonio Tarver and Roy Jones fought the third time in Tampa.
Right.
He gave us a card. He had a card in his pocket, and he gave it to my nephew, and he autographed it. It was some kind of card. Maybe it was a business card, and it had him on the front of it. And he signed the card, and he gave it to my nephew, man. And that was a great experience. I got to meet him one time in Tampa.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Such good people that I'm sure that you guys both have seen come and go in this sport. Is there anyone else that you'd like, for us to know about that you really miss in this sport?
Well, Angelo, he was special.
Who did you say?
Andrew?
I was gonna say Hank Kaplan.
Yeah, Hank Kaplan, definitely.
He's the only one that wasn't at my induction and Steve's induction in the early years that we really missed more than anybody else was Hank.
Yes. He had passed away in 2007, December. And the first year of the Hall of Fame was 2009 when I was inducted. He was inducted posthumously. And he was missed terribly. He was like a second father to all of us.
All of us.
Wow.
When I was doing all those shows, one after another in Punta Gorda, Fort Myers back in those days, and Bob was announcing all the shows, the deal we had with Hank Kaplan was he told me, don't you ever put a date together on a show without checking my calendar first. And I never did, and he never missed a show.
That's pretty cool.
We had, yeah, and that's true, yeah. And again, Angelo Dundee was another one that was special. His favorite saying was, "It costs nothing to be nice."
Wow.
He went bent over backwards, be nice to everybody. There's so many that you miss. Matthew Muhammad was a very close friend of mine. He died. He had Lou Gehrig's disease, and I hadn't seen him for a few years. I was going back to the Hall of Fame in 2014 up in Canastota. I had just talked to him. We were going to see him finally for the first time in a few years. And a week before I went there, he passed away, and I didn't get to see him. That was a hurt. Billy Joyner, that Bob knows, and I think met Billy when he came down here.
Mm-hmm.
Billy and I were close friends. We were partners over 50 years. I drove up to Cincinnati. It was his 81st birthday. I knocked on his door, and he said, "This is the best birthday present I could ever have." We went out to eat lunch. I came home shortly after. I told my wife he didn't look well, and I'm glad I got to see him, and he passed away the following week. So these people, you miss these people one after another. I mean, I can go on for hours.
Hector Camacho is a big one for me because I met Hector right before my very first ring announcing job back in 1989. And he actually got in the ring and sparred with me at a training session This was to raise money for a little girl that needed an operation. That's the kind of guy he was, and a lot of folks don't know how giving and how generous he was. But he was very, very sweet. And the last time I saw him was when I was getting my fist cast at my induction in 2010, and he died a couple of years later down in Puerto Rico.
Okay. That is sweet. I mean, you're right. A lot of people have, this, because of the path he took, I guess, or the trouble he found in Puerto Rico, they don't really know that softer side of him, for sure. I think that's a
Hector was well-rounded. I mean, he was just a special person all the way around. He always brought joy to people that were in contact with him.
That's good.
And away from the camera, away from the limelight, he was totally different.
He was
humble. He was easy to talk to. He wasn't, he didn't do all the bragging and all that stuff. That was an act.
And
Right.
Muhammad Ali was similar too. Muhammad Ali, away from the cameras, was a practical joker and a cool, really a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell another short story about Kenny Adams, who Bob knows, one of the great trainers, 84 and 88 Olympic trainer of many world champions, Las Vegas. We go back a lot of years. So he calls up a few months back and he goes, if you noticed, I've been calling you more often lately. And I said, yeah, that's okay. He goes, yeah. He said, what happened is and he still has a Rolodex. My Rolodex of phone numbers of all the people I could talk to about the old days is getting smaller and smaller. So the few people left, I'm calling more and more.
I see what you're saying.
Sad and funny at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we had a question from Chuck. He's also a well-known photographer that had a connection with Emmanuel Stewart and Crunk Gym. He says, Bob, have you seen the new Crunk?
I have not. As a matter of fact, you're catching me off guard a little bit. I didn't even know there was a new Crunk. I know the old one burned. There was a fire like a year or two ago, and it was lost to that. I didn't know they started a new Crunk. Do you know about that, Steve?
Not really. I've been hearing a few things about a new building, but the memories of the old one is what's missing.
Right.
It's like they got a new Fifth Street gym in Miami. There's nowhere
right.
Fifth Street gym, not even
right.
Same type.
It ain't the same, huh?
So it's hard to replace what was, as you know, instead of retaining what was. But anyway, it's just the way the business is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we're going to get back on the topic of this Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend that I cannot wait to be a part of. And I just want to know from each of you, Bobby has already revealed one of his secrets for the weekend.
Yes. I have a protege ring announcer from Detroit who's become a very good friend of mine, and I'm watching her grow in her career. She's gotten into the pro shows now, and she's just she's going to be a rising star. She's coming down, and she's going to do an undercard fight or two on Friday night to give me a break, let me rest my voice a little bit. And on Saturday, she is going to be hosting the roundtable and also the two seminars. So Ryan is going to do a great job, and I'm excited that I actually get to hand it off to somebody to take a break for a few minutes.
Yes, and I'm happy to announce that Ryan is going to be our ladies' night guest next
That's
Thursday
right.
at 8 p.m. She
is so excited. So excited to meet with you, and so excited to be part of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, awesome! Because she sounded really cool on the phone, so I can't wait to get to powwow with her next week, and we'll have everybody anticipating her and getting to know a female announcer that's available. So that's going to be amazing. And now, Steve Padrino, I know that you're hiding a secret from one Sakura A and Emilio Santana.
Tell us, Steve, tell us.
What do you have to tell us about this amazing weekend that we don't already know?
Well, we're working on to see if we can put together an Army reunion of some of the Army fighters to support Al Ice Cole, who's Army, going in there. Some years back when Kenny Adams was inducted, he was the Army coach. he had a lot of support from Ray Mercer and Mark Lanton and some of the people he trained. Well, we're trying to do the same thing with Al Cole to bring some Army support and fighters in. And I know there's a few of them that's already made their reservations from the Army teams. So we're looking for a big reunion, not only of the Army guys with the inductees, but personally with some of the inductees that I haven't seen for a while myself. Danielle Nicholson will be special if he does make it for me. And David too will be special for me too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So yeah, reunion time is the good time.
Well, you know what? Sherman Henson will be glad to hear that, because we found out during that Al Cole show that he also was trained by Kenny Adams. So he knows him well from Texas.
And I saw a message a few minutes ago from Sherman saying he will be there this Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Sherman Vincent. Beautiful.
All of us have been putting pressure on him.
That's good news.
But we also want to make sure that people understand that we need our inductees from previous years there, right, Bob?
Absolutely. That's what keeps the Hall of Fame together. They're the center of it. You know, when they come back year after year and these new inductees see them there, all these other inductees from years past, that encourages them to come back after year. And that's what we need. We have to have these folks participate, because you know, it's not about me. It's not about Steve, really. It's not about the board of directors. It's about the inductees themselves, you know, year after year. You know, we're there to keep things running and keep things together, but everybody wants to come and meet all these great inductees. And, you know, if they're there, it just makes it so much more special, not just for the fans, but for the current class that's getting ready to go in.
Absolutely. We need all of the support, and we need them to be there so they can be on deck and ready to sign those autographs and fulfill the dreams of all of the boxing fans that's there just to see if they run into them.
Absolutely.
And matter of fact, I see Danny Santiago from the class of 2020, I believe. And he is actually available. He's going to be here this week. He said that week, I'm sorry. And he says, hello, guys. See you guys soon.
Looking forward to that. See the champ again.
Absolutely. All the way from Columbia. So now if he can make it from Columbia, guys, what does that say about you people in the U.S. territory? Okay.
Well, I'll tell you another one too. I've got Alan Vester, one of my old fighters that I trained from years ago, who lives in Denmark, European champion. He's coming. He's coming all the way from Denmark, and he'll be at the Hall of Fame in June. So he's another one that we're all looking forward to. And Bob announced some of his fights when he was being trained here in Florida many years ago.
Very exciting fighter. Absolutely.
We are international this year for real. New Zealand, Denmark, Colombia. I mean, this is too much for me. I mean, I'm about to explode. Somebody better keep me back and hold me back, because I'm excited now.
Well, Sakura, the one thing we want to make sure we express to everybody, not just the fans that are watching, but also some of the fighters and some of the folks that want to come to this year's Hall of Fame, go to our website, FloridaBoxingHallOfFame.com. There's a link right on the homepage to take you to the hotel. Do not wait to get your rooms, because you will find that those rooms are going to be gone by the week of the Hall. They will be sold out. We were sending folks to other hotels because we just ran out of room, because folks did what we said. They got in advance. But if you wait, you're putting yourself in a tough spot if you're looking to stay for the weekend. So please, I'm literally begging you, get on that website, get your room, get it done now. That way you don't have to worry about it when it starts getting closer time.
Right. And get the tickets for the weekend events right on the website under the store. We also want another quick announcement is we're going to have, we named the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Walter Butch Flansburgh Lifetime Achievement Award. The first recipient will be Tim Shipman on that. Yay! And we also added another grant, so to speak. We have had all along a Don Hazelton $1,000 scholarship award given to somebody. This year, for the first time, we're going to kick off a $2,500 grant, which could be used for anything. What happens is a person will contact us and write a short essay as to what they want to use the money for. It could be medical emergency. It could be trade school. It could be an elite boxer needing funds to travel overseas.
Okay.
Whatever they need it for, they will apply for it, and there'll be a one award in Walter Flansburgh's name each year now added to that scholarship. That's something else we're doing again this year for the first time.
Okay, that sounds all amazing. I know we're looking for sponsors and people, advertisers for the Hall of Fame. We can as well. You could call Mary or Bob or Steve if you want more information about how to make sure your business is in the book. Okay. As a matter of fact, we need to call too, you know.
Gotta get you in, yes.
I'm gonna try to make the book this year, guys.
Awesome.
All right. So we want to wish both of you guys.
221 he was in.
Oh, 221. I'm
221.
sorry.
Gotcha,
okay. 2021 was his class year. Excuse me, sir. Okay. And Dahlia Duran, the beautiful Dahlia
Duran.
also, she's class of 2020, I believe.
Oh,
and she says it's an honor to be she says it's an honor to be a part of such a wonderful organization. Thank you. And then she says, Bob and Padrino. Hashtag BPH. So
she's amazing.
Yes. Oh, okay, we got something from Christopher Young, who's also being acknowledged during this year's class. And I do see, Jason, I see you. So just hang in here for couple of more seconds. I see Christopher Young, and he says, Florida Boxing Elite. We have the president and the vice president here tonight. Okay, well, listen, what you think this is? I mean, this is like chic boxing playhousing. Okay. That's as good as my French gets, Steve.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what house it is. I know it's Spanish.
Shout out to Chris Young. He has been a longtime sponsor and supporter of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, and he's one of the best young referees and judges in the state of Florida.
Yes, and Chris will be getting an award also as this year.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to see him get his acknowledgement, even though he don't feel like he should. You know, he's one of those people that's
Chris.
Very humble.
Yes.
He deserves. Yeah, he's been really busy working hard.
Yeah, we got to teach Chris that old Mac Davis song. It's hard to be humble when you're so good. It's appropriate for Chris because he is an excellent referee. He's a good boxing person, and he's a good person, period.
Definitely.
So we're happy to have him with the organization and the way he has been as a supporter all these years.
Oh yeah.
So now, next time that you're on, Steve, I want to make sure that we talk about something that I know you're very passionate about, and I am so looking forward to this. And it might be something we need to add to the Hall of Fame weekend, actually. But I'm all into this whole, trainers then and now. And training then and now from the boxer's perspective as well. So I need like the trainers from then and now, and I need some boxers from then and now, because you guys gotta like let people know. I mean, are guys really training harder now as prospects and contenders, or was it much harder back in the day without all of this, specialized equipment and nutritionalists and specialists and strength and conditionalists? Am I missing somebody?
Now, let me ask this one question, though. Is that a question you really want answered for real, or is that something no one wants to hear?
Oh, honey, you know me by now. You know I'm here for the real deal facts.
You could look at one certain circumstance which will answer your question for you. Look at round 15 of Ken Norton, Larry Holmes heavyweight fight, and look at the action in round 15.
Okay.
Wonder how these guys could have that kind of pace, and Holmes doing that with a ripped bicep muscle still, and Norton exhausted, and they fought like that in round 15. Today, you got two guys holding themselves up after round 4, trying to last for the bell to round 12. Now, you tell me,
what you're talking about, Steve.
Years ago, 15 rounds nonstop. Oh, today we got better training methods. We got supplements. We got other stuff you're not supposed to have. We have modern technique. Why are we tired? Why do they get tired? Why are they out of shape? When they say, I'm in the best shape of my life, and in 3 or 4 rounds, they're dead tired. There's several reasons. One, improper training. You can't. Here's an example. You get a musician. He wants to be a guitar player. What does he do? He practices a guitar. Common sense. You can't practice the piano and be a good guitar player. Now, if you're a boxer, what in the world are you doing all this weird stuff not related to the sport of boxing and training that way and then expect to be any good in this sport? It's totally changed. It's improper. And I have trouble watching him because all they can do is talk. And I always said, if they would just run as much as their mouth, they'd be in shape.
Oh boy! So you're one of them trainers that want guys to run
hard
like
and pissing off people, I'm sure. But here's the difference. I was in the ring in the old days with the old trainers. I was in the ring with Sugar Ray Robinson when I was 14 years old, teaching me a left hook. I've been in the ring sparring with Aaron Pryor and all the greats. Okay, I am in the ring with this or seeing the fighters today, and there's a 0-0 correlation. There's not even close. There's another thing that will make sense to some people if you listen to it. If you fought years ago 20, 25, 30 fights in 1 year, each and every year, to perfect your craft against someone else fighting 20, 25 times per year against someone else who's good, you get a certain edge that makes you sharp. If you're fighting twice a year against someone else fighting twice a year, and you're blowing up between those 2 fights, and the fight ends, and you say the first words out of your mouth is, I got to go on vacation now. As a fighter who does it every day. We used to say in the old days, a fighter trains when they have fights coming up. A champion trains all the time. How do you compare the two? To me, there's no comparison. But see, the people today only see the fighters today. They didn't see what used to be. So you can't totally blame that. They didn't see what was. They see the fighters today, and the best of the fighters today are the best of this era. But there's no comparison to the previous era.
Hey, Steve, I just heard Mike Tyson. He said the champions of the day, they look like hot dog champions, like they won a hot dog eating contest.
There you go. There you go. Now
he has a great impersonation.
He had eight weight classes, and then it went to 10 when you had a junior welterweight added some years. Original 8, then you had 10. Okay, we had one organization, one champion. Now we got 17 weight classes. And then you have catch weights on top of that, and you have Canelo weights on top of that.
Oh, we done called Canelo out.
So how do you have 4 major organizations and about 13 or 14 minor organizations, over 300 world champions, but we live in one world.
Okay, you're totally right.
Not only that, so you have fewer fighters today, but more world champions. And the guy today, I'm a great fighter because I beat so many world champions. Well, in the old days, there were 8 world champions, 1 in every weight class.
No, that's right. With 1 title, yeah.
So, I mean, how does it even compare? But people who were not there don't know what was. They just see what is. And I can understand the best of this era is the best of this era. But when you've been to both eras, you know there's no comparison.
I got a great Steve-ism for you, Sakura.
Okay.
Steve is very fond of saying, you know, anybody can grab a towel, throw it over their shoulder these days, and they call themselves a trainer. That's straight from Steve Canton.
Oh, wow. Well, let me get my towel then.
Yeah, no, that's true. But what they do is they watch YouTube and they train like these guys, and it's all wrong. I mean, I'm amazed when you have something that's right through the years and you had technique that's perfect, then why is it changed? It's watered down. Why isn't it retained? The old trainers are dying off and they're getting replaced by other people who don't do what the old trainers do. And the ones that are hurting are the fighters. It's not the fighters' fault they're not being trained right. It's actually sad. They're good athletes. They're working hard, but it's all wrong.
Sherman said, preach, Steve, preach.
Uh-oh. And I had another great idea, too. Maybe we should start adding some of your training sessions, okay, to the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame YouTube page.
Well, there's a funny part there. Yeah, some years back, Mr. Flansburgh asked me to do a training seminar originally, and I said I was afraid to because it'd be pissing off too many people. He said, do it anyway. And I remember that first year we had a mixture in the room. We had people like Ray Mercer was there then. Kenny Adams was in the room. Alton Murkison was in the room. And then we had, and Sherman Henson was there. We had Jimmy Williams was in the room.
Wow.
And we had some younger trainers in the room. I started giving the seminar, and all the old guys were jumping up excited. And Pinklin Thomas even ran up to the front to help out. And all the younger guys were getting quiet and getting lower in their seat. And some of those are on the YouTube channel way back. So yeah, but I don't like to piss people off about it. I just like to call it like it is. I mean, I was there. See, I'm one of the last of the old people, and I was lucky. I was trained from people. Bless you. I was trained from people from the old days. You know, I was very lucky myself. So I passed that on the way it was. Now those people are dead. So who's passing on what? You know?
Right. That's true. That's why we got to make sure we document things that you're saying right now, along with people like Trainer Henson, who's saying Angelo. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm about blind tonight, guys. Yes, Angelo Dundee once told me there's a difference between a teacher and a trainer. And a teacher teach and a trainer trains. Which one would you want to be? There you go.
Well, the problem is not what they want to be, is what are they? Because how can they be? A lot of them have the ego too much, and they say, "Oh, I'm having success." Well, you're having success against someone of today's era. But if you had someone trained as if they were in the other era, what would happen to them when they put in with today's fighter? Real quickly, Bob remembers this kid, Ricky Burgos, that I had here. He was 35 years old, came in the gym, never boxed in his life, depressed. The story, you know, Ricky. Well, Ricky came in the gym, and after about 4 months, he says, "You know, I want to be a real fighter." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You got a choice. I could train you like the old fighters if you'll work and want me to, but you have to be on fast track because of your age. Or I can let you train the way you want to train, like today's fighters, and be what today's fighters are." He says, "You teach me, I'll do it." So I did. Well, his first amateur fight, just a couple of months later, 2 months later, he fought a guy 5-0 with 4 knockouts, someone you wouldn't start a kid off with normally. We had no choice. That was who was available. Again, in fast track. He fought him. He knocked him out in 2 rounds. Wow. Now what happened was his very first year in boxing, he was 4-0. He won a state gold medal. He won a national gold medal. He was 4-0. The opposition was 28 wins, 4 losses, 20 wins by knockout. All 4 losses were to him because they were all undefeated. That was an old school style fighting. A
new school,
good, experienced, new style fighter. And I've got other kids in the gym like that right now, young kids that are starting out.
And he can't wait to see him turn professional.
Yeah, but he's not now because he's now 38 and he's got his own moving company, so he's doing well with that.
Oh yeah, he is pretty busy with
his family, so he got a lot out of it. Right. So we're proud of Ricky.
Uh-oh, I just lost my other guest. I guess they got tired of waiting.
Yeah. He'll
be back. I'll reschedule Keon. Guys, I'm sorry that happened. You know what? I will cut. It will listen. As long as Steve Canton wants to talk, we will be listening. How about that?
I feel bad now. No.
Oh, he'll be back. I'm sure.
He got some good words of wisdom that should have been heard.
Okay. He just came back. Jason is back.
Good. Apologize, Jason.
You guys be stable though. I need you guys to be in one place, guys. If you can hear me, okay, Steve and Bob. I appreciate you so much. Definitely. And as Luis Camacho, one of your Hall of Famers, said, he says, "I think this subject is great to discuss with trainers and boxers." So we'll look forward to planning that with you coming up soon.
Luis is my hero. I want to be like him when I'm in my 80s, if I live that long.
Yeah, I want to see if I can live that long. I kind of doubt it, but we hope so.
And we're going to say this one more time. That's the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. That's going to be June 17th through the 19th. Go book your rooms and get your tickets for the entire weekend of festivities.
Get your soup too for the dinner.
Gotta have your suit.
It's a
I
suit.
know you ready. I know you
And a
ready.
goblet. And I got to have the goblet.
It's
Yes.
coming.
There
It's
you
coming. We got it.
Yep.
It's coming.
All
And you got
right.
Friday night fights with T&K
T&K.
Boxing Promotions. And we have Bob Alexander as the announcer for the evening. And it's just going to be an amazing night.
Yeah.
Yes. And we can't wait. So please go to www.floridaboxinghallofame.com to get your tickets and book your room right now. That is www.floridaboxinghallofame.com so you can purchase your tickets and your hotel.
Sakura, thank you to you and Amelia for everything you do. Not just at the Hall of Fame. We're partners there. You guys always do a great job, but just keeping things going in the sport of boxing. You guys are wonderful.
Hey,
Yeah, we really appreciate that. You do a great job, and we love it.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Steve,
you guys, and we love what you guys are doing as
Appreciate
well.
it.
And we'll continue our Florida Boxing Hall of Fame special edition next Thursday, with Bob's protege. See you guys next time, and thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, y'all.
All right. So,
Good night, guys.
All right.
good night. All right. So they were amazing. I always love those two guys. And they always show us such great support too, which is a lot to be said.
Steve was talking about that 15 round with Holmes and Norton. He wasn't lying. That was a great fight right there, that 15 round fight.
We're going to have to see if the chosen one
man.
is watching that fight before.
That was a
We
great
got
fight.
to start with that, because they making these brothers today, like, I mean, they were talking about training and different things, and you know what, I think this is a father-son team, so
Okay.
you know they get the business when it's they get the business when the dad is involved.
Right.
So let's go ahead and welcome Keon, chosen one, and his dad, Jason Papillion.
What's up?
Hey guys, did I say your last name right?
Papillion.
Papillion.
You said it right.
Okay, thanks. I'm so sorry about
It
that.
was an old movie called Papillion back in the 70s, I remember. Papillion.
Do you know anything about that, Jason?
I didn't hear you.
Remember that movie back in the 70s called Papillion?
Yeah, I sure did.
Old classic
Steve
right there.
McQueen.
Yeah. When I heard y'all name, that's what I thought
Steve
about.
McQueen.
So you guys
Yeah.
can turn the cameras the long way, like you can make your phone go this way so we can
Oh,
get
yeah.
a screen of you.
Okay.
Oh, wait
There
a
we
minute.
go.
Somebody don't have his rotation on. Come on, chosen one.
Yeah, he lost.
You gotta have the rotation click on it.
Oh, my
So
bad.
we are really happy to have you on tonight. We're sorry about that little delay, but I messed around there and I asked the old school trainer about training old school versus new school.
Break it down.
Yeah, you know, he had to break it down then. So I think it's a great subject, and we are going to start with that for you, chosen one. What was the fight he wanted? He said that we should know.
He said check out the last round of the Holmes and Ken Norton back in the day. It was a 15-round fight. They were just saying how guys back in the day, how they would fight, 15 rounds, and that they trained different back in the day. And he felt like they was probably a lot of fighters was in better shape.
A lot of better shape because
back in the day, the way
that
they
was a
trained.
fast pace for that 15-rounder.
Yeah.
That he was saying.
So he was saying that guys, they ain't really training like they used to, is how he was feeling, right?
Yeah, he feel like sometimes some of this new age things that boxers and combat sports people have at their disposal is really not helping the boxers as much as they should be. With stuff like stamina and actually boxing training real boxing. I guess. So what do you guys think on that?
Huh?
What do you guys think about that subject?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like, with today's technology, it does takes away from some of the training. I mean, when I was fighting, they didn't have all of that, and we had to work hard.
Right.
We worked hard in that gym. We didn't have. I mean, they had the supplements and all the other things, but the technology today It's extraordinary, man. I wish I had that when I was fighting.
Well, true. I think there's some huge benefits to some of the technology, but you can never forget about the things that them old schoolers use too. You know, and that's why when you got a dad on deck with you and knows some of those techniques, it kind of helps a boxer. Even though I know sometimes it's very difficult to work with parents. What do you think about that, chosen one?
I was working with Pop.
It's not difficult. We do have our disagreements, but nah, it's not really difficult.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that's the first.
Right.
Yeah, like that's the first time I heard that one. We have had a couple of parents on father sons, and you know it's missed a lot, you know, because they say there's a lot of things they don't agree on, but because the father's the father, they usually get their way. Is that how it works in your camp?
No, not really. You know, sometimes, you know what? It's really not. It's not him. It's mostly me. You know, sometimes I turn into dad instead of being trainer.
Okay.
You know, that's the bad part about it. That's something I've been working on. You know, and while I'm actually co-trainer, I don't get in the ring when he's fighting. I have the guy that trained me, Alfie Smith. He's the corner man. He works the corner. I stay on the outside because I don't want to turn into dad in the middle of a fight and can't get him out if he's in some trouble. You know, and that's the only thing that hurt us in the amateurs because I turn into dad a lot in the amateurs,
okay.
and, you know, and it didn't really help him. So I'm not gonna make that mistake with his professional career.
I mean, I totally understand. I mean, it's very emotional when you're seeing someone that you love getting hit, you know,
Right.
or dishing out punishment too.
Like with, Sean Porter and his daddy.
Now I hope nobody's got a dad like to that level. No. You know what I was gonna ask Keon? Keon, can you tell us like what weight class you are and how you fell in love with boxing? Like what made you want to start this journey with your dad?
Well, I'll fight at 140, so I'm in welterweight, but why I fell in love with it is just it's a long story. But shorten it up, really, I wouldn't get no attention in any of the other sports I was playing like I wanted, you know, center stage, and it really wasn't, you know, like as in football, basketball, none of that. I wouldn't center stage on it like I wanted to be. And whenever
TV, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We in the same place. I'm sorry. But nah, I got into boxing, and I just ever since then I took a beating from somebody, and I just wanted to better myself ever since. And that's kind of the reason why I stayed with it.
Okay. I really appreciate you being honest with us. I mean, I know there's got to be a really deep story behind that.
It goes deeper than.
And now I was looking at your IG page and I was seeing some of your photos and different things, and I'm like wondering. I'm like, this kid is kind of giving me that, you know, Prince style type vibe. I mean, is that somebody you like? I mean, because we love him, like. But I'm just saying, I noticed right away. I was like, what's up with that?
I don't know. I mean, I like to bring out many different styles as just dressing and how I look. As you can see right now, I'm kind of rough, but but that was my nickname in amateurs from some people. They called me Prince.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, so that makes sense. I really like that white, you know, the picture with you in your white outfit on the stairs. That was pretty cool. I like the way that looked. So I appreciated it.
Excuse him.
Oh, I'm sorry. You could hear me?
I'm supposed to have another fighter right now.
You.
Sorry. What city y'all in, Keon?
Huh?
What city? Where y'all live at?
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we just visited there last month. What is it this month? Oh, yeah, this month. Yeah. I wish we'd known you were there. We could have visited you at your gym.
I wasn't in town at the time. I was in Florida.
No, so we switched places because we're in Florida. That's where we live. We're in St.
Yeah.
Yeah. What part of Florida were you at?
Pensacola.
Pensacola. All right. Okay. I like it.
You wasn't working out with Roy Jones up there, were you?
Yeah, that's why I was gonna get my sparring.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow. All right. It's a little short world. It's a real short world. How they say? Now tell me a little bit about yourself. What else is it that you like to do outside the sport of boxing?
I ball. Basketball, football, whatever. Any other sport.
Okay, that's amazing. I like that. I mean, so you're just a very good athlete in general.
Yeah, I'm all around athlete.
I saw you had a record of 5 wins and 4 of those at KO. So, I mean, what's going on here? Do I smell a little power somewhere? What's going on?
I don't know yet. I don't want to say I do have it. I don't want to say I don't. That's for everybody else to tell.
Okay, well, people told to tell.
Yeah, what about your amateur? You did a lot of amateur fights?
I was injured a lot in amateurs, but I had a decent amount. Amateurs really I was at a disadvantage a lot in amateurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the name Chosen One, where does that come from?
My cousin gave me that. He said out of everybody that made it, he said I'm the one. He said he always would call me the chosen one.
All right. It's nice to have cousins. I need a cousin like that. Somebody call me the chosen one. I need that in my life. All right. So, Dad, tell us exactly how did you get into this sport? Was it just through your son, or is this something that you always love to watch and participate in? Or were you a boxer?
Oh, I'm a retired professional boxer.
What? How is that?
Yeah, about 18. I practiced professional for 18 years.
I gotta get into my game. I mean, I needed to do more research. Nobody told me that.
Yeah, I'm a former NABL super welterweight champion.
Oh, nice.
Fought Winky Wright for the IBF world title.
Okay.
Was Roy Jones Jr. sparring partner for 10 years.
Oh, there's the Pensacola connection. Okay.
Yeah. I was ranked in the top 5 in divisions, all the weight classes. Not weight classes, but divisions: WBA, WBC, IBF. Swing number 5.
Wait a minute, you done changed the game. Just stop, because now you're showing off. And the thing of it is, your son has to
you asked me.
That's a lot to live up to.
Nah, but I mean, honestly, my son is special. I'm not just saying that because that's my son, but that kid is special, man. Compared to my beginning, my early career, yeah, he's exceptional. He's exceptional.
Well, that's a very impressive resume, and I definitely got to go back and do some research. And I'm very sorry I didn't really realize that we were dealing with somebody that's already a boxing superstar over here.
No, it's good. It's good.
When I heard the name, it kind of rang a bell. I was like, dang, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, but you said movie.
Well, the movie too, but
you
still.
were supposed to be the boxing. How is he the
name.
historian and he let this slip by me, man?
Yeah. It's all good, man. It's all good, man.
Right.
I'm just glad to be here. After 10 years of retirement, I'm doing interviews, man. That's lovely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Keon got a fight coming up, next week?
Yeah, May 7th, he's fighting at the Youngville Sports Complex. He's fighting Michael McDonald. I think that's his name. Real tough kid out of Louisiana. He's never been stopped. He's a tough kid. He's in there for the long haul. I think it's gonna be a test for Keon. To see if he can work for 6 hard rounds.
Right. Keon, are you southpaw or you regular orthodox?
Orthodox.
Orthodox. Okay. What would you say? Huh?
I can switch up if need be.
Oh, cool.
Just if need be, I guess. Huh?
Do you have a signature punch, Keon? You got a signature punch, or you just either hand?
Nah, I ain't got but I don't have no punch yet.
Okay.
Well, now, Jason, what
Yes,
is it? You said he's a special dude, so you just let us know, like, what is it that you see that you makes you feel like he's really special? Because by you being in the ring, you know what to look for and what's a bad habit versus a good habit. So let us in on that little secret.
Well, I mean, his work ethics. You know, I mean, he's a kid that stays in the gym. You know, sometimes I have to slow him down. You know, man, that's enough. You know, you're doing too much. But his work ethic is of the chain. You know, and his talent. You know, I mean, he's been around boxing all his life. You know, he's been around his dad. He's been around Roy Jones. You know, he's in his blood. You know, it's just in him. You know, some kids, you have to teach them to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Him is just in him. You know, when I think it was for my 46th birthday or something. No, it might have been a little, or maybe earlier than that. But from one of my birthdays, you know, we usually do this father and son get in the ring and spar. And that day, you know, he said, "Dad, you know, I want to go to the gym and spar for your birthday again, like we used to." I said, "All right, that's cool." I think he was 16 years old.
Okay.
All right, let's go. We're gonna go spar, and we got in there, and lo and behold, I mean, I was just shocked. I was shocked at some of the things that he was doing. And then I just told him, you know, from that day on, man, you know, you have to be in the gym because I think that's your calling. You know, God has blessed you with skills, man. You don't find some kids that just get in the ring and it's already in them.
Right.
You know, it was already in him, you know, and that's why I say he's special. If you go back and look at my first professional fight, that guy in the ring with my son, first professional fight, is night and day.
Wow.
Wow, that's very impressive. That is very impressive. What is it in your career that you want to achieve?
I want to get in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
It's certain things I want to do to get to the top two, but that's one of the main goals. So, yeah.
Keon, you think you're gonna stay at that weight, man, or you see yourself moving up in different weight classes?
I don't see myself staying. Yeah, that's part of the goals too. I want to be a multi-division world champion.
So how tall are you?
5'8".
Oh,
I wish I was taller.
That's a good.
You the same height I am. That's how tall I am.
Yeah,
that's a good height.
Too short.
Yes, I like that height. Well, listen, I was gonna ask some other questions of you two. You know, one thing that I wanted to. Now, I know you say you stay out of the corner. Like I know you stay out of side of the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jason, but when it comes to that gym time, you're right in there with the mitts and the gloves, like your hands on, or you have somebody else doing that for you?
No, I'm in there. I don't get in the ring with him no more.
When did you stop getting in the ring with him?
3 or 4 years ago.
And what happened? Why you decide you?
Because my body's not used to getting hit like that anymore. I'm not in the shape that I used to get hit.
Okay, see now we're getting somewhere, Keon, because you trying to say you don't know if you got power, and now the truth is coming out now, baby. I'm on to you. You
gave it up.
Yeah, you done made your dad decide he don't even want to be in there with you no more. Training.
I'll get in the ring with anybody else except him.
Well, who were you guys sparring with over there in Tallahassee? Pensacola.
Florida.
Yeah.
They had Brian Perella. He just fought.
Yeah.
That Kevin Newman. That a few good other fighters. A few newbies, but mostly everybody that I got in there with had like maybe 2 losses or maybe 1 loss at the most. So.
Okay, I like it.
Hey, Keon, who's your favorite fighter?
Oh man, as fighting right now?
Yeah, now or in the past, it don't matter.
I can't pick him. That's biased.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can pick him.
Yeah, you ain't gotta pick me.
So who's your second favorite?
Who's your second favorite? Yeah.
Roy Jones.
You're dealing with professionals here. We don't want to get you in trouble, so yeah, you can go ahead. Who's your second favorite?
Roy Jones, and that's pretty much who I grew up off of. And I really can't pick nobody else as for favorite after that.
All right. Well, then, is there any favorite punch that you have established? A favorite maneuver or something?
I can't tell y'all that, man. Everybody else go see that. My opponents go see that.
Well, you supposed to give us the wrong answer. Oh, it's a left hook.
Right.
Yeah, I did catch him with a right. Yeah. Or the uppercut.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Dad, you got to school him on this now.
He knows.
Hey, Keon, when you ain't in the gym, man, what you be doing most of the time on your regular time?
Either I'm balling, gaming, or
you like
it's rarely that
You like the game too?
Yeah, I'm big on it.
Yeah.
It's rarely, you see me in one spot.
Which games do you like the best on, those
2K and Call of Duty. That's it.
Call of Duty.
No boxing games?
Oh, they don't have none on.
They got a new one coming out. What's that?
EA, esports.
Esports boxing. Yeah, that's coming out.
Well, they ain't here yet.
I'll check it out.
All right.
Yeah,
but I don't. Yeah.
Probably tired of playing the old
Not
fight.
on my main games.
Yeah, that fight night is.
Fight night done got old.
They needed to stop.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so where's the rest of your family at? Who we got in the family? Everybody comes out to support you for your fights.
Yeah, they come out to support me for the fight, but we in the gym right now. That's why nobody's around.
So you're the only one that's boxing right now, currently, like
in the family.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. So yeah, this probably is his calling for sure. I mean, no, I'm just saying, if I had someone in the family with all these accolades that your dad got over here, like, I mean, it seemed like they would all be like, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to do this." Line it up for that tutelage.
We do have a nephew. My nephew, he used to box amateur with us.
Okay.
He does both MMA and boxing, and he's looking to get back into boxing.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's great. Now I know for this fight coming up, you guys let everybody know like how they can watch this fight if they're not in the area, or if they are in the area, how can they purchase tickets through you guys or a website or anything?
Well, I mean, I don't think you'll be able to watch it. It won't be televised because it's a local show. But to purchase tickets, you can go to boxingcore.com. That's where he sells tickets, or myself. I have tickets that they can purchase from me also. And the fight will be at the Youngsville Sports Complex in Youngsville, Louisiana. May 7th.
You know what? My dad is from the Shreveport area. He lives in a small town outside of Shreveport. How close is Youngstown? Or you're closer to like New Orleans and the southern?
Yeah, we're close to New Orleans. Shreveport is like 3 hours away. New Orleans is 2 hours the other way.
All right, I'm just letting y'all know y'all dealing with I'm dealing with one of y'all state's girls. I'm one of y'all homegirls.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely, I hope that you guys can record some of that fight because I would love to take a look at all these skills we missing. And
Yes,
I,
ma'am.
I have to see what Keon is up to.
Yes, ma'am. We definitely will.
Keon, did you have any last parting words? Where can we find you at your social media pages?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at The Chosen One. Just how I spelled it in the corner. And that's pretty much it.
Wait a minute. Why he speeding up? What's going on? I couldn't want to hear you good. Okay, so you said, oh, I got a lot of feedback going on all of this. Okay, so you said it's Keon, the chosen one? And is it you said the chosen one? That's your name on IG and anywhere else? Twitter or no? Dad, do you know his Instagram and Facebook information?
Yeah, well, he don't do the Facebook,
Okay, of course.
but he's on Instagram at The Chosen One.
And Twitter, does he have Twitter?
No, he don't do the Twitter neither.
Okay.
He's basically on Instagram. That's about it. His phone died.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no problem. Tell him that it was amazing
He's
talking
right
to
there.
you.
My bad.
Yeah, y'all could have did that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Hey, we easy going here. We're very easy going.
Yeah.
You know what? I wanted to say, like, good luck on your fight. And also just to say, like, let us have some of your footage or your sparring sessions or something so that we can post it and try to get some followers over there to your pages. And as far as Mr. Jason goes, I definitely, I'm gonna go look you up, right? I got to see some of these skills.
I feel bad, man. I got to go back and look. What fight should I pull up, Jason?
Huh?
What good fight should I pull up on you, man? When you back in the day?
I mean, good fights.
Yeah,
I think
we want to see you at your best when you wasn't,
At my best, I didn't record it. I'm gonna be honest. The best that I've ever looked, was after my dad passed away.
How that happened?
Yeah, my dad was a big influence on us, and he passed away in 2004, and I retired for a short minute. Came back in 2006, and I fought at home against Bernard Harris. Okay. And that was probably the best I've ever looked. If I were to fight like that, the night I fought Winky Wright, I probably would have beat him.
Oh, you fought Winky? Okay.
Yeah, I fought Winky for the IBF world title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well,
Winky live over here by us, man.
Yeah.
He's in St. Pete.
Yeah, Winky live over here.
Yeah, Winky was a great fighter, man. Honestly, with that fight right there, I lost it myself because I overtrained for the fight. I left it all in the gym. I was dehydrated. I came in the fight too light. The fight was for 154, and I came in at 149.
Oh wow! You really
was that for the vacant belt?
Jason? No, he was the champion.
Oh, he was already the champ. Okay.
He was already the IBF world champion. And I think that's, I was dehydrated after the second round. I didn't really have nothing left and got stopped in the 5th round. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, you still, you were dehydrated and you still made it like 3 more rounds.
Yeah, and one thing I can really say that I took out of that fight, the night he fought Felix Trinidad. You remember that in the fight?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Felix Trinidad didn't really touch him.
Right.
Him and we went 5 rounds, and after the fight, he was wearing sunglasses.
Oh man, I'm gonna pull that fight up.
Yeah, we got to see that. You
You never fought Keith Mullins, huh, Jason? You ever fought Keith Mullins?
Did I fight Keith?
Yeah, Keith Mullins.
No, Keith Mullins and I were Roy Jones Jr. chief sparring partners.
Oh, okay. You know, he's getting inducted in the Florida Hall of Fame.
That's great, man. I mean, I wish he was still here to see it, man.
Right.
God rest his soul, man. But
That's what
that's a
talking
blessing.
about.
That is a blessing.
Had on this show earlier. They are a part of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad for him. I just wish he was here to accept the accolades, man. For real.
Al Cole getting inducted too. Al, you know,
Yeah,
Al Cole.
big Al Cole, man. We was all in the same gym at Square Ring.
Right.
That's like a big brother, man.
And what's his name got inducted the other year? Smoke Gainer got inducted a couple years.
Smoke. I know Smoke real, man. That's family.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna have to bubble your name. I'm gonna be like, hey.
Yeah, that's family.
Florida Boxing Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, that's family.
So we can make sure we can meet you guys in person.
Definitely. One day. I hope so. One day. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure, boxing fan. For sure.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all coming on, Jason.
Yeah,
man, we appreciate y'all having us, man. Thank you.
Definitely, man, and I hope we can do it again, man, in the future.
Yeah,
most definitely.
We're gonna have you on, but we're gonna have you on at like the top of the hour.
Got it.
We're not gonna put you behind Mr. Steve because he can. Yeah, when you start talking about old school versus versus new school, and he was like really going in.
It's all good. It's cool. We appreciate it, man. And like I said, we'll do it again.
All right. Well, thank you, Keon and Jason. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, great family. I really appreciated, just the honesty and just the caring that the two of them have for each other, and his dad just knowing like, hey, I don't even need to be in his corner like that no more because I'm turning into dad each time.
Yeah.
And it's hard for fathers to realize that too. Like a lot of fathers, even though they know that's happening, they're not going to admit it, and they definitely are not going to allow someone else to take over or, not take over, but, step in and for them inside the ring. So that's really honorable.
Sometimes you need a daddy in the corner. Some coaches will let your dude get killed in the ring.
Yes.
So sometimes it's good to have a daddy in there.
Yes.
Some situations.
That is true. But at the same time, like when you start, you stopping fights before you should.
You don't want to stop it too strong. You got to know when to stop it. But
yeah. For sure. Well, we thank you all for listening tonight, and we want to come back to you next week strong. We got the ladies' night, and it's going to be with our new announcer extraordinaire that we are going to have on the show. And
you get to watch the fights this weekend.
We definitely got to talk about them fights. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to do that before, because a lot of, we haven't done our predictions or anything tonight. So we'll probably be back with you sometime tomorrow to discuss these fights that's coming up after the weigh-ins. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you in a day or two, because these fights are going to be strong. Like, I can't wait to find out who the next super lightweight king is going to be, and if it's who I think it's going to be. And I know everybody is excited about the undisputed unification title between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano.
Yes.
Yes. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So we'll check you out tomorrow with our predictions. Until then, welcome to the house.
Welcome to the house. The one they talking about. Word of mouth. The Boxing Playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.